update for them?
What was that?
An update on Pumpkin Jimmy.
Oh, do we have an update? Do we have an update from Pumpkin Jimmy from last episode? That's what you asked. Not that I can think of. It's so good. So good. Welcome to Unserious Overtime. I'm going to cut the fluff and get right to the point. A true battle of the ages. A tale as old as time. Sorry, Beauty and the Beast, this one's got you beat. Cider Mill versus Apple Orchard. Which one's better? What's the difference? And what the heck constitutes a mill? All things we're going to find out and dive into today when we jump into the pool that is Unserious Overtime. Our guest today is someone you've not officially met yet and won't officially meet until his episode, but you've definitely seen him in the Unserious Season 1 trailer. He's got the best reactions by far in that video.
Are we serious right now?
Can't wait until you see the full episode to understand what the heck is going on there. It's a good one. Subscribe now so you don't miss it when it drops. Okay. We should have Zach on the line here. Hello there, Zach. Can you hear me?
I got you, Bryce. You got me.
I can hear you loud and clear. Cut straight to the point today. We don't even need to butter the bread. We all know what the audience we all know what the audience wants here.
This is a big thing, Bryce. It's a very big topic.
This is a very big topic. Cider Mill versus Apple Orchard. Let's kick it off with what is a cider mill? What technically constitutes a mill? Is there equipment involved? I'm just curious. So I decided to look it up, and Zach did too. And so let's just talk about that. What did you get, Zach? I'll let you go first. You're the guest.
All right, cider mill. So according to my research, a cider mill is where the apples are processed into cider, often using apples from their orchard or nearby farms. So specifically where the apples turn into the cider.
So then I'll just quick go through my definition of a mill in general. A mill is a place or device that grinds, crushes, or processes raw materials into a usable form, often using mechanical means. That's where things get processed. That's where things get crushed. That's where all the fun happens. Now, fun fact, historically, mills were powered by water, wind, and animals, etc. And they processed things like grain for flour, olives for oil, or apples for cider. So if you see a little water wheel at your local cider mill, it could have been used to power an actual mill at some point in the past. That's what that's there for.
That's a very fun fact.
That is a fun fact. So, well, here's the thing. Some of them look like barns. Some of them don't look like barns. Does the facade matter to you? That is a very deep and interesting question.
It does matter because there are many, by where I am, there are many apple orchards or cider mills. And the one that is my favorite is probably the oldest cider mill that we have around. And it's in a barn that was built in like the 1800s. So it does matter because the experience matters.
The experience does matter.
Apple orchards need to take you back when there was no technology, just back when it was just apples and trees. We need to go back to our apple roots and just go traditional barn.
Apple roots. That sounds like it would be a good dessert or something. An apple root.
Apple mixed with a root. Yeah, it's good.
Apple root. If we want to know the specific type of equipment, in case anyone was interested, some traditional cider mills use a cider press and a mill stone, probably where the word mill comes from, if I had to guess. Grinder or scratter, a specialized machine for crushing apples. I've never heard of that machine before. That's fun.
I have not, but I will say, if I'm going to a cider mill or apple orchard, or sometimes both, because I've seen there can be both, which we will get into later, I need to see the cider being made. Otherwise, my experience is ruined.
Ooh, you need to see the actual process for proof.
I need to see it. I went the other day to one with you, Bryce, and there was no cider being made, and I was very disappointed.
Because you can have an apple orchard where they sell cider, but it may not be made there. And that's just...
And see, that's just wrong. No, that's just wrong.
That's not good. That's a hit to the ambiance, really. You need to feel like you're in the environment where this is happening. For example, a horse. Ooh, that's interesting. Does anyone know if there's any cider mills around that still use horses in the process of making cider through crushing apples? I would be interested to see that. Can you imagine?
I would see that too.
Can you imagine?
watch like a YouTube video. Yeah, like horses where they just stomp on the apples.
Yeah, yeah. Just like a vineyard. They have the buckets of grapes. Just a bunch of horse stomping apples. Of course, when I think of horses and apples, I normally think of something different. But if you go to a cider mill where cider is not being made, is it technically a mill? Really?
The answer would be no.
No.
Because that's where it's crushed. Like,
it's all a
the cider mill
facade.
itself is where it's done. The orchard, now we can get into orchards if you want, but that's different than the cider mill. If you cannot have a cider mill without the process of cider being made.
Isn't that the truth? Or else it's all a lie. It's all a facade. It's not really a mill. It's just a front for something from other activity. Apple orchards lean more on experience. When you go to a cider mill, you're just kind of buying cider. You might even buy a pumpkin, which doesn't feel very on brand for something making apples, but definitely for something in the fall. We don't recommend you buy a pumpkin. # save a pumpkin. # Sharpie pear. Take a pear and write a little face on it with a Sharpie. That's what we recommend because we're trying to save pumpkins this time of year. Be creative. There's all sorts of different fruits out there and vegetables. Why kill pumpkins unfairly?
You see, Bryce, I'm sorry here. I think this is where this agreement might happen. I think carving pumpkins is one of the most fun fall traditions you can have.
How dare you? Did you see our last episode?
I did see that last episode.
We have someone that would strongly disagree with that.
I am so sorry, but I mean, carving pumpkins is like a family tradition in my house. And then you like scoop out the seeds and you put them in the oven. Oh, that's really good.
How dare you?
Sorry. No, it's off topic, but it's really good.
How dare you admit such things on this show? Well, you definitely, you could do the same thing with the orange. There's still some pulp.
Yeah, so much more fun.
Yeah.
So much more fun.
And there's vitamin C, which is healthy for you. I don't know. I always thought pumpkin guts smelled kind of disgusting.
They do, but when you wash those seeds off and put them in the oven and sprinkle some salt on them, come out perfectly.
So back to apple orchards. You are doing more of the work in an apple orchard. You are picking the apples. You are going into the environment and you are experiencing nature.
I have another topic too, which is the modern mashup, which we can get to in a minute. But
ooh, I like the name.
The old
catchy name.
Old orchards and cider mills back in
back in the olden days.
Back in the 300s, they would have their apple orchard next to the cider mill, so that way the mill could process from the apple orchard itself. But the apple orchards where you're going to get the more like nowadays where you'll see the hay rides, the corn mazes, the fall festivals, and you'll go and do apple picking. We haven't talked about donuts yet. We've just talked about cider. And let me tell you,
we're just scratching
at the cider
surface.
Mill, they usually come with donuts. And let me tell you, those donuts are heaven on earth.
Better than your average donut.
Better than your average donut. And let me tell you, if you have cider mills by where you live, you need to try some different ones because I have them ranked. So you got to try them because they're really good.
They're not all made the same. I will say that.
They're not all made the same?
I think we can come to a consensus to say that you really should have a cider mill and an apple orchard. It should all be in one place so that you can just experience everything.
Yeah, and see, that's the modern mashup according to, what I'm calling it. And it's where it's the apple orchard with a cider mill.
Yes.
So you get the full farm to glass experience.
Farm to glass.
Farm to glass. You can tell I wrote that.
Way. I was going to give you credit for that, but credit revoked.
But I mean, the modern mashup, here's the issue. You can't have too much modern because you got to have that. Like my dream, which we do not have by where I live, my dream would be you have like an old barn and then you have like the really good cider mill, the really good donuts, and then you have another part of that includes the little bit of modern, which is the hay rides, the animals, all that kind of stuff. And I have not been to one that perfectly fits both.
Let us know in the comments if you know of one that does perfectly fit both, because we definitely should travel there in an episode. I don't know. It sounds like, Zach, you're just describing that we need to invent a time machine.
I think we do. I think maybe we should start our own classic apple orchard and cider mill. Because the one you and I went to, the one that you and I went to a couple weeks ago, that one was leaning too much on the apple orchard side and not enough on the cider mill side. But there's another one nearby that leans too much on the cider mill side, but not enough on the apple orchard side. That is
the real problem. They're
There's
unbalanced.
no perfect match yet. Yes, so we need a perfect heaven meets earth modern mashup with 50% cider mill, 50% apple orchard.
50-50. We need to balance out the teeter-totter that is the cider mill apple orchard conundrum.
I think you should share your story of how you ordered your, what was it? Your
Oh gosh,
your
what
cider.
was it? Oh,
your frozen cider with a donut on it, and you got it, and there was no donut.
All right, so I can talk through my experience, my hard, incredibly sad, harrowing experience at a cider mill the other day. I saw something called the Deluxe Apple Cider Slushie. Does that not sound amazing? You're not drinking apple cider in regular form, it's in slushy form. And isn't everything really just better in slushy form? Can you think of anything that would not be better in a slushy form? Dr. Pepper, Sprite, Fanta.
Sprite, okay. Sprite, I think...
Maybe
I don't
not
think
Sprite.
a Sprite slushie would be good.
Maybe not Sprite. Oh, now, hey, a Gatorade slushie would be good.
Ooh, that would be good.
Think about that. I would do a Gatorade slushie. Yeah, so anyway, this picture of this Deluxe Apple Cider Slushie shows a beautiful slushie, and it shows wonderful whipped topping. But on top of this is also a donut, because I like things that go over and above. I'm a sucker for limited edition crap. So if this is a limited time only, and it looks like it's got something extra on it, and it's just over and above, I'm there. I'm there for that all day long. So I go up and order this thing. I order it from their menu. Where there is not a picture of it on there. And I do believe I may have missed the word deluxe. That shouldn't matter because in the picture... Yeah,
you missed the word deluxe, but here's the issue.
But it wasn't on the menu that there was a deluxe. So that's the thing. See, I'm looking for the poster. I'm just like, yeah, I want that apple cider slushie thing over there. It looks wonderful.
On that poster, they had the deluxe apple cider slushie, but they had the apple cider slushie in big letters in deluxe in the smallest letters possible. I will give you that.
So I get it. And I just get the slushie. It is not deluxe.
No whipped cream.
There is no whipped cream.
Donut,
there is no donut. So therefore I did ask, hey, is there a donut come with this? So then I would think logically the person behind the counter would say, well, if you get the deluxe, then yes, it comes with whipped topping and a donut. But no, this person just says no. So then I logically said, well, can I get one? And they said, sure. And then they charged me more than it was for a regular single donut. Oof. So I definitely got gypped there. But I will say it was delicious. Would it have been better with the whipped cream and if I didn't have to go through all the trauma that I did in getting... I would say we got 2/3 of the actual product that I saw on the poster there would have been better. But it definitely is something you should check out. If you can ever get an apple cider slushie, I still would recommend it.
A deluxe apple cider slushie.
Deluxe apple cider. There we go again. That's my problem. Deluxe apple cider slushie. All the words matter in marketing.
They do.
Never miss a word. Let's talk about donuts.
I like those more than the cider, I think. They pair perfectly together. But if I had to choose one or the other, I would choose those donuts every single time.
Every single time. They're better at the Cider Mills than just like somewhere else that you get an average donut. Do you prefer it plain or with the cinnamon and sugar? See, I can do both, but I do believe the cinnamon and sugar is preferable.
I think I would never ever consider not getting cinnamon sugar.
Really?
I don't think I've ever had non-cinnamon sugar. I think that's just it's
a classic.
That's just a sham if you do that.
How dare they?
Let me tell you, when you get on a brisk 40-degree fall day,
literally that's what it is right here, now.
With the sun coming through and you have a little bit of sun and it's 40 degrees and you just get that cold cider with that hot donut. When the donuts are hot, that's when you know you're living life, when you have a hot donut.
Just as you're saying this, you're literally describing the environment around me.
That's great.
This is perfect.
My favorite cider mill has that farm look, and then they have trees all around it, and so the sun just peeks through, and you get that hot. Okay, the key is the hot donut and the cold cider.
Hot donut,
but they also do hot cider now. And hot cider, here's my thing. Hot cider is good if you're going and it's very, very cold. But if you want to have the original experience, you need to have that hot cinnamon donut and a cold cider.
Absolutely. Absolutely. You feel like when all these elements combine together, you're just walking through a photograph.
Yes.
Of time. Blissful.
You're opening the Hallmark Channel magazine and you just see it right there on the page.
You're just in a Hallmark movie. What would the Hallmark movie be called? Millie at the Mill.
Millie, that would be one. Millie at the Mill.
Millie has lived her whole life wishing she could go to a mill, and Millie moves to a bigger city where she finds someone that is working at the mill.
She meets the guy behind the counter.
Yeah,
she's visiting her hometown. She's a corporate New York businesswoman, and she visits her hometown and meets her ex-high school boyfriend.
Yes.
And he owns the cider mill company now. And
oh, really?
She stops by, and then they she's visiting for Christmas time, or she's visiting for fall time, and she's staying till Christmas. And then it starts at fall time, and then by Christmas they start selling Christmas trees. And
yes.
By
Christmas
the time
trees are always involved.
By the time Christmas trees hit around, they're dating now, and they're working at the company together selling Christmas trees. And then it's Christmas Day, and then the movie ends.
No, they get married on Christmas Day.
See, they never get married in these Hallmark
while
movies.
It's snowing.
Let me give you some some preference. I do not watch the Hallmark movies.
I don't watch them either.
My mom loves the Hallmark movies, so they're always on in our living room. And I will tell you something I've noticed is that they
So you have an informant, basically.
Yes, they never get married. They only
that is weird.
Usually start dating by the end of these movies, because it's always the plot is that the people either hate each other or they're like, arch nemesis, and then by the end of the movie they kiss at the end of the movie,
That is interesting. So I wonder if they ever did a part 2. Does it work out? Do they get married? Do they get divorced? Who knows?
It would be, okay, here's some options. Autumn at the Maple Ridge Cider Mill. The Cider Mill
It's not super
Promise.
catchy, though.
The Cider Mill Promise. Pressed for love. Falling for cider.
I like that one. I like that. Pressed for love. Now,
the apple of my heart.
Now, oh my gosh. Now, if one of them has like a weird like genetic condition where they're going to die, then it'd be like pressed for time. Imagine that one.
Very fast.
Well, it could, but some of these do get dark. It's like, oh no, what's going to happen to me? I'm pressed for time.
I don't think I've ever seen a Hallmark movie where someone was going to die.
Really? Maybe I'm thinking of a different network. Or a movie. A good premise. Someone definitely will probably steal that idea. Probably, maybe.
I have one final note for anyone who's listening. If you do not live near an apple orchard or a cider mill, take the trip cross country to just visit one.
Just for
because
that.
let me tell you, you want to get that cider mill and apple orchard perfect 50-50 experience.
You do.
And you want that hot donut and that cold cider. That's all for today.
Well, thank you so much, Zach, for being on the program today. We appreciate it. And we look forward to your episode whenever that does air, because that is a good one.
What the heck is that thing?
Let's address our featured comment. If you think you have a fun little comment about that or an opinion that you would like to be featured in the next episode, put it down below. Let's see it. I saw that documentary. Those apples are in cages their whole lives. They're mistreated and played loud country music to sweeten the juice. This is not okay. I would agree with you. That is not okay. Although I do appreciate sweeter apple juice, so maybe the juice is worth the squeeze. Sorry. Comment below to let us know what artists you think, or specific songs even, would be played to these apples to sweeten their juice. What's a juice-sweetening song? Juice-sweetening country song that comes to mind. Let us know what you think. This comment definitely made me smile, and that's a comment worth reading. Did I wink correctly? Comment below and let us know if you think there's an eye that's easier to wink with. In the comments below, where the comments are featured in the comment reservoir, where they abide in the little comment houses, in the depths of the places where they live. Drama. If you think you can out-funny that comment, it's not really a word yet, but it is now, because I'm definitely going to use it moving forward. Give it a try, and we might feature it in a later episode. Fun comments are always welcome here at Sound Unserious, YouTube, Instagram, and X. This is a good time for a plug. No, not that kind of a plug. Here at Unserious, seriousness is overrated. We think it's not a bad thing if you sound unserious. Hence the handle there. Or even if you watch Filmfish content. Hence the Watch Filmfish handle. See what we're doing there. We're so clever. Oh, gee, look at that. We are overtime. Anyway, thanks for watching. Have a nice fall. And by that, I mean autumn. For legal reasons.